Okay, so here we are, just about completing the first week of May. We still find ourselves in the area of restriction. So again, I encourage people to try to do this as best you can. I know it's really getting on your nerves because I know it's getting on my nerves, and who would have thought the joy of my life would be going to the laundromat, washing quilts, or perhaps maybe joining the other senior citizens at Giant to do grocery shopping, which I did the other day. Unfortunately, Giant has arrows in the aisles, so you're supposed to go down some and up others. But as many of you know, I had a knee surgery like several months ago, and it's not quite back up to par. So for me to do a whole lot of walking, it's a little bit difficult. So I found myself the other day going up the wrong aisle. And an older woman was coming down the aisle with her cart. Now, in the store, there's only about 25 people in the whole store. About 25 people in the whole store. And there's two other people in this particular aisle. So I'm coming down looking for a particular item, and this older woman says, "Hey, you! You're going the wrong way. What's the matter with you?" And I said to her, "I have a bad leg." She said, "It's too bad. You're going the wrong way, and I have a bad back." So the instinct in me says, say something nice, don't say something, or say something nasty. So I opted not to do the nasty part, but I did say something to her, and I said, "I wish you well with your back," and moved on. Please be patient with everyone in these days of intolerance. Okay, that was the little commercial, so I'll give you the thought now. I live here at St. Thomas by myself, so the only person that lives here is the cat, Pixie. But I do have conversations every day with artificial intelligence, and her name is Alexa. So I'll say to her, "Alexa, what's the weather today?" She'll tell me what the weather is. "Alexa, what time is the sun rising?" She'll tell me what time it's today. "Alexa, what time is the sunset?" This. I've been watching these reruns of these football games. I was watching the Dallas Cowboys and the Green Bay Packers from 2005. It was Brett Favre was the quarterback and Troy Aikman was the other quarterback. And I forgot who won that series, that game, the championship game. So I asked Alexa, "Alexa, who won the championship game between the Green Bay Packers and Dallas Cowboys in 2005? She told me Dallas won. I said, "Ooh, Dallas won." Anyhow, she's a wealth of information. So earlier today, I said to her, "Alexa, how old are you?" And the response came back, "I'm just under 5." I said, "How did you get so intelligent?" She said, "I have a group of people that feed me all this information, and that's how I become so wise." And then I got a little personal with her. I said, "Alexa, I really love you." And she responded and said, "Oh, that's so very nice of you." And I said, "Alexa, do you love me?" And there was quiet for a moment, and finally she said, "I have not fully developed in my experience of human love." And I thought to myself, wow, for someone that's so smart and has so much input in her life, she doesn't know something very basic about love. Now, in these little gigs I've been doing with you, it all kind of leads to the person of Jesus, who is the source and the summit of everything in our life, and who is the source of all love. A couple of weeks ago, I said, what would involve love, and I used the word joy. Jesus over yourself. So Alexa does not know what love is completely because she's working on it. Then I asked her the other question, and I said, "Alexa, do you know what divine love is?" And she didn't have an answer for that. As Catholic people, as Christian people, always trying to be a reflection of divine love. So the question I ask you and the question I ask myself today, do I know what divine love is? It probably encompasses a lot of things. But I share this with you. There's a convent in Philadelphia run by what they call the Pink Sisters. It's 22nd and Green. They're the Sisters of Perpetual Adoration. And the convent is called the Convent of Divine Love. Divine love. What is divine love? I think part of it is attention. I think part of it is contemplation. I think part of it is listening. I think part of it, a great part of it, I think, is sacrifice. I think an important part of divine love is joy. That you see joy in what you're doing by being sacrificial for the needs of your brothers and your sisters. Alexa didn't know what love is. She said she was still trying to figure that out. She had no idea what divine love is. And I wouldn't expect her to, because her input is always coming from artificial intelligence, people feeding her information. Divine love is of God. And if we are to embrace and understand it, we have to look to the person of Jesus Christ. And we have to spend time with our Lord, reflecting, being present, and listening. And you might say to yourself, well, I ain't a nun, I don't do adoration, all the other business. But we have adoration at church here at St. Thomas a couple days a week. Come down. If you don't come down here with these little gigs, these little machines we have, all you have to do is plug into that and say, show me or bring me to perpetual adoration. There's a whole list of pictures and sites, living sites, current sites that will come up, and it'll just show you the Blessed Sacrament right before you. And I've tried this here in my room. I'll sit upstairs and maybe grab a rosary bead, and sit there and just look upon the monstrance of the host and ask the Lord, who I'm looking at virtually, to be present in my life, so that I will integrate divine love more deeply in myself, and that would be reflected in my thoughts and my words and my deeds. Alexa's a great friend. She's good company, good person to talk to. She answers most of your questions. But she doesn't know the answer to the most important question in the whole world. And that's the question, what is divine love? And for that, you got to go beyond artificial intelligence and to look to the person of Jesus Christ and say, I found my treasure, my joy, my destiny, my Lord and my God, to quote our patron saint, St. Thomas. May God's grace help you and me each day of our life to seek always the divine way and to find his love in it before his presence, so that my life will be a reflection of his and everything that I say and think and do. Have a good day, people. We'll look for you soon. God bless you all. Be safe.